Welcome back to the channel. Today we step into the world of hidden treasures, where an ordinary-looking coin carries within it a story of rarity, mystery, and immense value. I'm talking about coin number 1. The 1970 Australian 20-cent coin with no mint mark, a piece that has become a shining star among collectors worldwide. The journey of this coin begins in 1970, a time when Australia was celebrating progress and modern design in its circulating money. The Royal Australian Mint was producing 20-cent pieces to meet the growing demand, and most of these coins bore small mint marks to identify their origin. Yet, a small number of coins left the mint without any mark at all. This is what collectors today call the no mint mark 1970 20-cent coin. At first glance, it looks like any other coin from your pocket change, featuring the beautiful platypus swimming across the reverse side. But for collectors, the absence of that tiny mint mark turns this coin into a rare and highly sought-after treasure. That little missing detail is what elevates its worth from just cents to thousands of dollars. The reason this coin is so valuable lies in its scarcity. Mint errors or varieties like these often escape into circulation unnoticed, only to be discovered years later by sharp-eyed collectors. Because so few exist, demand far outweighs supply, and that simple rule is what pushes its value higher and higher. Think of it this way: anyone can own an ordinary 1970 20-cent coin, but owning one without the mint mark is like owning a piece of history that slipped through the cracks. It's a living example of imperfection turning into perfection in the eyes of numismatics. Collectors around the world love stories, and the story of this coin is what drives its price. It wasn't made deliberately as a commemorative coin. It wasn't a special release. It was simply a rarity born out of chance. And that element of chance is what makes it priceless in the hearts of those who chase it. Now, you may wonder how high the value of this coin can really go. Recorded sales have seen this coin sell in auctions for staggering amounts, often crossing several $1,000s. In fact, pristine examples in uncirculated condition can demand maximum prices of $20,000 or more in today's market. Imagine that, turning a 20-cent piece into a life-changing sum. That's why enthusiasts search relentlessly, hoping to stumble upon one in a collection, a jar of coins, or even an inherited stash. The dream is real, and the reward can be incredible. This is not just about money, it's about being part of history, about holding something so few others will ever own. The coin also represents the beauty of Australian currency. Its design, by Stuart Devlin, captures the spirit of the nation's wildlife with the platypus gliding gracefully. Paired with the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, it's a timeless reflection of the era, yet the missing mint mark transforms it into something even more extraordinary. For decades, collectors have debated how many of these coins actually exist. The truth is, no one really knows. Some believe only a handful survived, while others suggest a few hundred. The uncertainty adds to the allure, making every verified piece even more precious. Owning one is like owning a mystery. It's not just metal. It's a story, a riddle, a masterpiece born of accident. And that mystery is what collectors are willing to pay thousands for. Imagine the thrill of discovering one in your possession. A small coin, tucked away for years, suddenly becomes worth more than a brand new car. That's the magic of numismatics. That's the magic of the 1970 20-cent no mint mark coin. This coin teaches us an important lesson: greatness sometimes hides in plain sight. What others may ignore as ordinary could turn out to be extraordinary. It is a reminder to look closer, to value the small things, and to never underestimate the power of rarity. Every time this coin appears at auction, excitement fills the room. Collectors compete fiercely, driving the price higher and higher, because they know the value of owning something so few will ever hold. And each sale only strengthens its reputation as one of Australia's most legendary coins. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you ever come across a 1970 Australian 20-cent coin, don't just glance and pass it by. Look closely. If there's no mint mark, you might be staring at a fortune in your palm. The world of rare coins is filled with treasures, but the 1970 no mint mark 20-cent coin stands among the brightest. It's rare, it's valuable, and it's a piece of history that continues to inspire collectors across the globe. In the end, this is not just about owning a coin, it's about owning a legend. A legend that proves how something as simple as a missing mint mark can turn a common coin into a priceless treasure. And who knows, maybe the next rare find is waiting for you. So keep your eyes open, keep searching, and remember, the greatest treasures often appear where you least expect them. And when it comes to the 1970 Australian 20-cent no mint mark coin, its story, its rarity, and its breathtaking value make it one of the most extraordinary coins you could ever dream of finding. Coin number 2. The 1966 Australian 20-cent coin with no mint mark. A coin that at first glance may look like an everyday piece of change, but in reality, holds within it the power of rarity, history, and immense future value. The story begins in 1966, when Australia made one of the most significant transitions in its currency system. That was the year the nation shifted from pounds, shillings, and pence into the modern decimal system we use today. As part of this changeover, new coins were struck, including the very first 20-cent coin. These coins carried the famous platypus design, a masterpiece by Stuart Devlin, and were minted in huge numbers to serve the country's fresh monetary era. Most of these 20-cent pieces carried mint marks, allowing collectors to identify where they were struck. But in rare instances, a small group of coins was released without any mint mark at all. And it is this absence, the missing mark, that transforms a normal coin into a collectible treasure. Collectors and historians agree that mint errors or varieties like these are some of the most thrilling finds. They were never intended to be special editions. They weren't designed to be rare. Their rarity comes from chance, and it is chance that makes them incredibly valuable. The 1966 no mint mark 20-cent coin is one of those beautiful accidents of history. The significance of this coin is not just that it was minted in the very first year of decimal currency in Australia, but also that its no mint mark variation creates a direct link to the story of change, progress, and the beginning of a new era in Australian money. It is both a historical artifact and a rarity, which is why collectors chase it passionately. Now, you might wonder, how much can such a coin actually be worth? The answer is extraordinary. Depending on condition, examples of this coin have already sold for thousands of dollars. High-grade pieces in pristine, uncirculated condition have reached maximum prices of over $15,000 in today's market. That's an astounding value for a coin that originally held a face value of just 20 cents. But what makes this story even more inspiring is the future potential. Coins like these rarely go down in value. They only become more desirable as time passes. With each passing year, fewer examples remain in top condition, making the demand even stronger. It is entirely possible that in the future, we may see maximum prices climbing to $25,000, $50,000, or even higher, especially in international auctions. The coin market is driven by rarity, history, and collector passion. The 1966 no mint mark 20-cent coin has all three. It's rare because of the missing mark, it's historic because it was struck in the year of decimal changeover, and it inspires passion because it represents a once-in-a-lifetime discovery for collectors. Every time this coin surfaces in an auction, excitement surges. Collectors bid fiercely, and the price climbs higher and higher. And with the global interest in rare Australian coins continuing to grow, the ceiling for its value is limitless. Imagine finding one in your old collection, passed down by a relative or sitting forgotten in a jar of coins. That tiny piece of metal could transform into a fortune overnight. Stories like these are what fuel the dreams of treasure hunters and collectors across the world. This coin is more than just silver and design. It's a piece of living history. It is proof that the smallest details, like a missing mint mark, can turn something ordinary into something extraordinary. And it shows us that true value often hides in plain sight. Collectors cherish the 1966 no mint mark coin not just for its monetary worth but also because of its role in Australia's story. It's the kind of coin that future generations will look back on with awe, knowing it carried both cultural and financial importance. The message is clear: this coin is valuable today, and it will be even more valuable tomorrow. It's not just a piece of the past, it's an investment into the future. Owning one is like holding a ticket to long-term value growth, a treasure that only grows more precious with age. So, ladies and gentlemen, whenever you come across a 1966 20-cent coin, take a close look. If it has no mint mark, you may be staring at one of the most valuable coins in Australian history. A coin worth thousands now, and potentially tens of thousands in years to come. The thrill of numismatics lies in these discoveries, in knowing that hidden among ordinary coins are treasures of unimaginable worth. And the 1966 Australian 20-cent no mint mark coin is a shining example of just how extraordinary a small piece of metal can truly be. So keep your eyes open, keep searching, and never underestimate the power of rarity. This coin has already proven itself valuable, and its future promises even greater heights. The treasure is real, and it might just be waiting for you. Coin number 3. The 1968 Australian 20-cent coin with no mint mark, a coin that continues to amaze collectors and inspire treasure hunters with its incredible worth. The journey of this coin begins in the late 1960s, a time when Australia's decimal currency system was still fresh and new. The nation had transitioned from pounds, shillings, and pence only 2 years earlier, in 1966. By 1968, the Royal Australian Mint was producing millions of 20-cent pieces to meet everyday use. But within this massive production run, something remarkable occurred. A number of coins were struck without a mint mark. At first glance, the 1968 20-cent coin looks like any other. It carries the elegant platypus design on the reverse, created by master engraver Stuart Devlin, and on the obverse, the regal portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. Yet, it is the absence of the mint mark that sets it apart and gives it its legendary status among collectors. That missing mark changes everything. The history of why this error happened is still debated. Some believe it was a striking oversight. Others suggest it may have been intentional for testing purposes. Whatever the reason, the fact remains, very few of these no mint mark coins were released into circulation, and their scarcity is what makes them so valuable today. Collectors around the world are constantly searching for this 1968 rarity. The demand is strong because it is not only a minting variety but also a coin tied to the early years of Australia's new currency system. Owning it means owning a piece of that story, and collectors are always eager to pay big money for history. The question arises, how many people want to buy it? The answer is simple: thousands of coin enthusiasts, not only in Australia but also across the globe, desire this coin. Rare coin auctions regularly attract bidders from multiple countries, each competing to add this treasure to their collection. And every time one of these coins appears on the market, the competition becomes fierce. So what is the current value of this coin? Right now, depending on its condition, the 1968 Australian 20-cent no mint mark coin has reached sales in the thousands. Well-preserved, uncirculated examples have achieved maximum prices of up to $12,000 in today's coin market. That is an extraordinary return on something that was originally worth just 20 cents. And as for the future, its value is only expected to climb higher. Rare coins like these become scarcer with time, as more pieces end up locked away in private collections, never to return to the open market. It is entirely possible that in the coming years, we will see this coin pushing beyond $20,000 or even $30,000 at major international auctions. This is why the 1968 no mint mark 20-cent coin is not just valuable today. It is a strong investment for tomorrow. For collectors, it is not only about money. It is about prestige, about owning a coin that very few others in the world can ever claim to have. Think for a moment about the excitement of holding one of these in your hand. A simple coin that millions overlook could suddenly be the key to financial fortune. That is the magic of numismatics. That is the story this coin tells us. A story of hidden value waiting to be discovered. The platypus design itself adds another layer of appeal. This iconic Australian animal, gliding across the water, has become a symbol of the nation's unique wildlife. Pair that with the missing mint mark, and you have a combination of beauty, rarity, and mystery, elements that drive collectors to extraordinary lengths to own it. Every time this coin appears in the spotlight, it generates buzz in the collecting world. The excitement builds, the bids climb, and the legend of the 1968 no mint mark coin grows stronger. And with each passing year, it solidifies its place as one of the most valuable Australian 20-cent coins in existence. So, ladies and gentlemen, the answer is clear. This coin is valuable now, it is valuable in the future, and it will always remain valuable as long as collectors crave rarity. It is not just a piece of metal, it is a piece of history, a piece of art, and a piece of fortune. If you come across a 1968 Australian 20-cent coin, do not dismiss it as ordinary change. Look closer. If you find no mint mark, you may be holding something that can transform your life. The world of rare coins is full of treasures, and the 1968 no mint mark 20 cent stands tall among them. It is rare, it is desirable, and it commands the kind of price that turns heads and inspires dreams. This coin is proof that greatness often hides in the smallest of details. A missing mark, a tiny error, has created a legend worth thousands today and potentially tens of thousands tomorrow. That is why collectors chase it with such passion. So keep searching, keep dreaming, and remember this: every coin tells a story, but only a few tell stories worth fortunes. And the 1968 Australian 20-cent no mint mark coin is one of those stories, a story of rarity, value, and timeless treasure. Last coin number 4. The 1981 Australian 20-cent coin with no mint mark, a coin that has captured the imagination of collectors around the world and continues to rise in value with every passing year. The year 1981 was one of the busiest years for the Royal Australian Mint. To keep up with demand, coins were produced not only in Canberra but also overseas, including London, Ottawa, and Wales. Normally, these coins carried small mint marks to indicate their origin. But in some mysterious cases, the mint mark was missing. Those missing details created the legendary 1981 no mint mark 20-cent coin. At first glance, it looks like an everyday coin, the graceful platypus swimming across the water on the reverse, and Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse. But what makes it extraordinary is the absence of a mint mark. That tiny omission turns this coin into a rare collectible, worth far more than its face value. Now let's talk about what everyone wants to know: its value. Today, in the coin market, circulated examples of this rare 1981 no mint mark coin can sell anywhere between $1,000 and $3,000 depending on condition. But when we look at higher grades, especially uncirculated coins in pristine state, the price shoots up dramatically. In recent years, top-quality examples have been sold at auctions for maximum prices of $15,000. Yes, a simple 20-cent piece turning into $15,000 is not a dream. It is reality for those who have this rarity. And the story does not end there. Experts and collectors believe that as time goes on, fewer and fewer examples will appear on the open market. This scarcity can easily push the price beyond $20,000, $25,000, or even $30,000 in the future. When global demand collides with limited supply, the only direction for the price is upward. So the question comes, should you keep this coin if you find it? The answer is an absolute yes. This coin is not only valuable today but has the potential to double or triple in value tomorrow. Holding on to it is like holding on to a hidden investment, one that appreciates with every passing year. If you want to secure maximum value, the best way is to have it graded and sealed by a professional coin grading service. Once sealed in protective casing, the coin's condition is preserved, and buyers at auction feel more confident paying the highest possible price. Where can you buy one? The answer is through coin dealers, coin shows, and major auctions. And where can you sell it? Exactly the same places: prestigious auctions, reputable dealers, and online numismatic platforms where serious collectors are always watching. The demand is global. Collectors in Australia want it, collectors in America want it, and collectors in Europe want it. Thousands of people are waiting for the opportunity to own this rarity. And that global demand is what keeps the value of the 1981 no mint mark coin so high. Every time one of these coins appears, the bidding war is intense. Prices climb higher and higher because everyone knows how scarce it is. Each sale only strengthens its reputation as one of the most valuable Australian 20-cent coins ever struck. Ladies and gentlemen, this coin proves that true treasure often hides in the smallest details. A missing mint mark has transformed a simple piece of change into a life-changing fortune. Today it can bring you up to $15,000, and in the future, its maximum value may rise to $30,000 or even higher. So if you ever come across a 1981 Australian 20-cent coin, don't let it slip away. Examine it carefully. If there is no mint mark, you might just be holding the key to a small fortune. This coin is valuable now, it will be valuable tomorrow, and it will only grow more valuable in the years to come. Keep it safe, treasure it, and let it remind you that hidden riches are often found where least expected. The 1981 no mint mark 20-cent coin is not just money, it is history, it is rarity, and it is wealth all rolled into one. And owning it means owning a legend. Thanks for watching.